Cap rap news, man. We in the building, we chillin'. What up, Besma? What up, Israel? What up, Backfield, Midfield, Central Park, West End, Birmingham, Huntsville, The Dump, Mobile, Montgomery, Chignity in the city. About to react to the Shannon Sharpe and Stoute interview. They was in the QB in Queensbridge. Shout out Nori. All right, man. What's going on with y'all boys, man? Chignity run the city, no cap rap news, man. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. We almost hit 5,000 on YouTube. We about 25 away from 5,000. We didn't went up like a whole 1,000 about, I'd say about a month and a half, 2 months. We done went up quick little 1,000. So let's keep that going, man. Let's see, make sure we good. Let's see, I got YouTube going. Brian, what's happening? What's happening, my bro? What's good with you? We're finna get this thing started, man. Let me make sure I got everything right. We're reacting to this Stoute, Shannon Sharpe interview, man. Supposed to be fire. Hold on, let me fix one thing before we get started. It should be crazy doing this shit live. Gang of straight. Alright, we should be good. I want to be able to read y'all chats and shit. I should go back to blue. But, hold on, let's see, bro. Hope everybody had a good evening, man. Good night, good day. Whatever it is, wherever you at. Let me get this shit together. Step to my blue. Can't go wrong with my blue. All right, we good. Refresh that thing like that. Bam. We in the dough. All right, man, let's get to this. Shout out Club Shay Shay. Y'all ain't subscribed to their channel. Also subscribe to my channels, man. We almost at 5,000 on Facebook. Like I said, we like 24, 23 people away from the big 5,000. That's my, one of the goals I set. So that's what I mean, man. Start from zero and just keep grinding, bro. You never know where you end up, man. So we starting at the bottom, but we gonna get to where we need to get to. Y'all gonna get to where y'all need to get to, and we gonna celebrate all that shit. Let's start the show, man.
I grabbed the gun. He said, wait, that's the guy that makes Biggie Smalls beat. I was gonna say, look out, Wiz.
Nah, he told a story how Stoute came up in here like he owned the place, man. He about to get aired out.
Safe to say that shit is different. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, what is he gonna do? He got out that car and cut through the grass.
Hurry up and skip that goddamn
I said,
music.
yo, everybody look out. And Wiz said no. He said, wait, that's the guy that makes Biggie Smalls beats. He made one more chance. He's looking for Nas. He made one more chance for Biggie. And I said, what? You went over there and talked to him in the middle?
Jungle almost fucked it up.
If you wasn't there, bro, you know what I mean? They would have been nuts. You know what I mean?
Hi, my name is Steve Stoute. He said, yo, I'm just looking for Nas. I want to manage him. He said, I don't want to see him with mad skills and not making no money behind their skills. He said, I'm here to change that. He said, I want to talk to Nas. I said, Jungle.
Dave, I see you.
Easy.
Tell me something, homie.
I was gonna say, look out, Wiz. Nah, I was gonna definitely air you though.
We appreciate that. We appreciate
you
Once
not
we
taking
met,
my
this is one of
life.
my best friends I ever had in my life. Because I love him so much. We've been through mad shit.
This is not his brother. I don't know if you picked up on all that.
Oh, real talk.
Jungle.
No, that's his brother.
Hell yeah, I don't live out here no more. I'm down there rich too. You don't see me? I live here no more, nigga. I'm rich. Yeah, nigga, you all up on the hood, nigga. I still live here. Hell no, motherfucker. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Nah, but you know they love me forever, you know, but you don't know. Some little nigga might, you know, when I was young, I was pressing anybody.
Right.
Shannon thought he was just some random nigga out there.
It's December. You don't know what kind. It's the hood. You know what I mean? It's the project. You can't predict the projects, but this is where I'm from. I lived in that building over there. You know, grew up out here and everything. But I'm gone now. Shannon, I'm gone. Shannon.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
There you go.
You already know my style outside. You know I'm outside.
You know where we are.
You know I'm outside, boy.
Was outside.
Yes, sir.
What's up, dude?
Well, now
Great,
still.
man. I'm out here with your brother, with people from the bridge, bro. I appreciate that.
I told Shannon Sharpe where they used to tackle you at over there. Where they was hurting, they was tackling you. Rooney and Mayo was tackling you so hard over there, man. Shit was crazy, man. They made you cry, man.
Nah, he told a story how Stoute came up in here like he owned the place, man. He about to get aired out.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. He had a lot of heart.
He asked a lot of questions about us early in the beginning, and I really said a lot of it stemmed from how.
Tell me something good, Dave.
You knew what I was, you know, my determination, and that determination led to a friendship that's lasted 28 years.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The brother I always wanted also, like an older brother for us. And,
Yes.
and really,
You too, man. I see y'all in the building, man. Hit that like button. Say what up. Say what up in the chat.
so always appreciate you, Steve. It's amazing that y'all went out there.
I can't believe fucking Shannon Sharpe is right here.
You're a real one for that, Shannon.
Oh, man.
I
you
got
know,
Shannon
hey,
out here. Shannon is a real one right here.
Definitely real.
people, they love Unc. They will holler when I got out of the truck. They're like, hey, man, that's Unc.
Nah, they love you out here. Hell yeah.
So I'm good.
Hell yeah. They saw you winning them Super Bowls and shit out here.
I appreciate that, man.
You may end up in a verse now.
All my life.
Oh shit, we gotta hurry up. Pause. God damn, they don't play about that Nipsey Hussle music, bro. I gotta skip all that shit.
We did.
Alright,
Those are the
we
farewells,
good.
the original ice creams. Wow.
Hell no.
It's mostly advertising awards.
So you got the billboards
Some
up there.
billboard. Yeah, man, we got some hardware, man. You know, we've done a good job.
Right.
This is where it really took off for me, Shannon.
Right.
You know, I did the Men in Black soundtrack.
Right.
That was great. That was like a Will Smith comeback album because music changed on it. Wu-Tang, Biggie, Nas, that came in, and sort of like happy rap was kind of off to the side. And then, because Will was a movie star, and we made Men in Black, and the song went crazy, changed his music career, got him back. But the thing about this that was nuts is that the album sold 10 million, but the glasses sold more. Wow. And we never got paid from the glasses. And the small advertising agency that did the product placement for the glasses, I spent
$1 zillion.
And literally over the next 3 years, I left the music business and got into advertising. That's how I got into advertising. Because I'm like, if the music could sell all these glasses, imagine what I could do if I left the music business and focused on the product. And that's why I made the Jay-Z sneaker and the Pharrell sneaker and the G-Unit sneakers. I started trying to make products. I thought that we could use the music, and that's kind of where we are today. But I was back on that super
so
early.
You was doing the collab before the collab was cool.
It wasn't even a collab. It was to me, it was obvious, man. Like, if you can move culture and you can move people, why wouldn't you sell higher margin items?
Right.
Like, you could sell a CD for $16.99. You could sell a sneaker for $110.
Right.
On the grind.
Right? Will Smith was selling those glasses. He didn't get paid from the glasses either. When Will Smith said, "I make these look good,"
I don't like that shit.
those glasses was gone.
I don't like that shit.
Hey, hustle, my boy Will.
If you're a business owner, then
on
animated
YouTube.
explainer videos are the best way
I
to
need to get
capture
YouTube.
attention.
What is it? YouTube
He's
Red.
a
or
very
some shit.
innovative businessman, founder and CEO, a music industry vet, a multi-talented marketing genius, an industry leader and entrepreneur, award-winning record producer and advertising exec, artist manager, New York Times best-selling author. You were inducted into the Advertising Hall of Fame achievement, recognized as Ad Color Awards, Innovator of the Year.
That's a hustler right there.
Of the Year by Ad Age, has one of the fastest growing companies, most creative people in business, a guru, game changer, icon, trailblazer, visionary, known as the Commissioner. He has the golden touch. Steve Stoute.
I love that intro. I love that intro.
Did I leave out anything? The man, my research is not
No,
man.
that was good. No, you're good. You're good, man. I feel like, yeah. I was thinking, man, could he add a little bit more to that? But nah.
I mean, we could add a little bit more season, but we don't want to over-season it.
Nah, it was seasoned perfectly.
Okay.
Sauce that thing out.
I don't know how many people know this, but Kobe lived with you for 6 weeks. Yeah. How old was he when he lived with you?
How old was he? He was going into his second year.
So he's about 18.
Yeah.
And you said, is it true that you signed Kobe to a recording contract?
Yeah, I signed Kobe to a recording contract. So
to do what?
The math went just like this.
Okay. Yeah, I want to hear this one. Let me set up for this one.
When Will
Hey, the
Smith
reason I be
made
having
Men in Black and sold all these records.
reason I be having this chat on the screen like this, bro, cause to try to get away with it a little bit more on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I'm stealing their whole damn video or no shit. You know what I'm saying? We reacting to it, so I put this in here so you'll go to the real channel and watch the full shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get back.
The music business had changed where it was like, you know, it was, again, Nas.
And I can see my chat. What's happening?
And Biggie and sort of Mobb Deep. It was that kind of, you know, much darker sound.
Yes.
Right? Compared to what he was doing.
Right.
He was bright as bright can get.
Right. You talking about Will or Kobe?
I'm talking about Will. I'm talking about Will right now.
Yeah, yes, okay.
So I'm like, if this guy, and he rapped over a sample and it became super pop and successful, I'm like, if we can do that, just maybe, but hold on, Shaq just did it. Shaq sold millions of records, man.
Correct.
People, like, he really did.
Yes.
It is not a fake thing.
Yeah, he
Shaq
did.
had a successful recording music career. And I'm like, if Shaq can do it, Will Smith did it, big, Shaq just did it. This kid, Kobe, people will love this guy. I mean, he went to the prom with Brandy. There was a lot of energy around him. And he actually had a rap group. When I signed him, he was in a group. I mean, you know, Kobe, God bless, he went solo soon after.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kobe didn't start with the group.
He was in a group, though. He was in a group, and he put in the work. He came to my house. He lived at my house for 6 weeks. I lived in New Jersey. A very dear friend of mine, Charles Oakley, used to come out to Jersey.
Oakley, that boy Oakley.
Worked out with him a few times. And Kobe was we would, in the morning, get up. I got him to go to this local gym. He would shoot 1,000 shots. Then he had these tapes. It was Michael Jordan going left, Michael Jordan going right. So it was just, the tapes were split of Jordan moving left, Jordan moving right, Jordan guarding people going left, Jordan guarding people going right. And he'd watch it for hours. And then we would go to the studio and record. That was his routine every single day. I learned a lot of discipline, from a young man. I thought I was pretty disciplined and doing my thing. And I seen another level of it with him. Very, very special talent. I could talk about him for hours because during that period of time when I got to know him, he wasn't really into having a lot of friends. A lot of people never got a chance to get deep in get a chance to get close to him because he was closed off like that. And for years, man, we would speak all the time. I mean, we became very, very close friends.
Had to Paul this nigga
so
early.
Obviously, it was unfortunate. I took him to Rucker Park. He played in Rucker Park, man. And he wanted to play because all these guys go out there, all these NBA guys.
Dion Knight, what's happening, player?
You got to play in the Rucker.
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, and we go out there, and I gave him to my man. I didn't have a team. Irv Gotti grew up in my neighborhood. I let him play for Irv's Murder Inc. team at the time. And he goes out there, and all the guys are there, and he starts putting on a show, Shannon, a show. He loved it. It starts to drizzle. I'm like, we got to close this game down. I mean, I'm not letting him play, but he's not going to let the game, he's not going to want to be the one to call it. So that he starts telling the basketball team how to play on wet surfaces.
Wow.
I'm like, we're not doing any of this. Because I already know this man gets hurt.
It's on
me.
watch.
It's on my watch. So we shut it down. But yeah, I forgot what he scored 30 points in 12 minutes or some crazy number and shit.
Kobe.
So could you tell, because you said he's so disciplined, he's watching Jordan go left, watching Jordan go right. Jordan's guarding left, Jordan's guarding right. And he's back in the studio recording. Did you know then, with the level of discipline that an 18-year-old kid had, that he was going to be what he became?
Oakley told me. Charles told me. Charles told me immediately the similarities between him and Jordan with work ethic. He knew it immediately. Like he came in talking.
Yes, did you know?
He was talking about. I'm like, whatever. He said that, but the other thing he did was he asked me, and I had this guy who worked for me at the time. He's actually now, his name is Anton Marchand. He's actually recruits for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He worked for me in the music business at the time. Kobe was going to guard Allen Iverson that year, and he was very much respectful of Iverson's speed and all that. And he said, he wanted to get young guards from New York that could, do their thing. Crossover and all that. We got him. Went to this indoor gym. He lined 10 of them up. They came in from the three-point line. He stood at the foul line. And they would come in like an assembly line. And he would guard them, try to strip them, take them to the hole, and then run back to the line before the next guy came. He ran that. He never got on offense. He ran that like an assembly line. Wow. He was just guarding. He was guarding guys, 6 foot, fast as shit. They'd get past them, steal from them, block it, rub their shit against the backboard, come back, guard the next guy.
Pause, another pause.
That he was doing this. No offense, no nothing. And it was like, this level of discipline, and in a tough guy.
Pink, live across North America in 2024. The most
tough, like just a strong, disciplined,
Pink been hustling for a minute.
Principle-driven man.
She a hustler.
We go out one night to this bar, and back then, street guys would buy all of the Cristal.
Yeah.
Right? But let me tell you something. They're buying the Cristal because what they want is, assuming, not because they are drinking all of it, if somebody comes in and you order Cristal, you got to check in. You got to check in. So I ordered a Cristal. He's not even drinking. Kobe's not drinking at all back then. He was not drinking alcohol at that time. Guy says I have to check in. This guy down at the bar, whatever. I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. He's like, man, fuck this. Just get the thing. So I got the Cristal. No, I didn't get the Cristal. I didn't want to do it. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not doing this. We go out to a diner like 2, 3 in the morning. And the same guy, street guy, won't say his name, is sitting there, and Cole is making jokes about his outfit, and he's being a little loud. I'm like, yeah, you gotta
chill with that, bro.
Yeah, he's not chilling with that, bro. He's loud. The guy sends somebody over, yo, blah, 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 I want to talk to you. I go outside. I'm like, yo, the young kid, he got the gun out. He's like, yo, he got the gun out. Yo, I'm like, yo, he's a young man. Da, 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 da. I'm trying to tell him. That's how he didn't even know who he was. All right, so he didn't even know who Kobe Bryant is. I'm like, he's a young man thing. He's cool, whatever, whatever. Kobe comes outside, sees the gun. I'm like, go back in. He goes, I'm not going nowhere. He did this on 23rd and 9th Avenue. He did that.
So what the little boy
at 18. The whole thing, it died, but he said he ain't going nowhere. I'm like, yo, he's this thing. He don't know who you are. The guy felt embarrassed. Right. It wasn't crazy. The guy felt embarrassed. He really wanted an apology for the embarrassment.
Right.
That was because it was loud.
Right.
And I was giving him that. It's cool, man. It's fine. Mm-hmm. He didn't mean no disrespect. He doesn't even know who you are, man. Right. He's not even from here.
Right.
But when he hit the thing out, when he said, I ain't going nowhere, I'm like, what kind of person is this? I'm giving you the out.
Right.
This is not your problem. I'll deal with this problem.
Right.
He don't want that. This is our problem.
Wow. Man,
I never told that story, man.
So
we know because you switched that bitch up in the middle of it.
The kid is so disciplined. Know that he's standing, as they say now, in business. What did he teach you?
You can run through walls, man. You believe it, you can do anything. There's nothing you can't do that if you believe in it. That's what he taught me.
Facebook, I see y'all. What's going on?
Did he speak
YouTube, what's happening? Hit the like button.
He was there to do music, but did he talk to you about what he wanted to become in the
end? Oh,
NBA?
Hell yeah, man. He had he manifested all of it, but he really did the work. He knew that if you did all the work, that ultimately it was going to happen.
Successful.
He didn't even think about it. His whole thing was that everybody who has a talent always tapped out in doing the work. I asked him one time, we were at a restaurant, and we're sitting there talking, and I always wanted to ask this question. Dude, what do you think about athletes that come from, I would ask you this, man, athletes that come from two-parent households versus athletes that come from single-parent households. So you got these guys who come from single-parent households, they're in the football field, and their anger and the shit that I'm doing this for my mother, I ain't got no father, whatever the circumstances are, they bring in all that energy on the basketball court, on the football field. And they play with that level of
rage.
Yeah. And he goes, I said, how do you feel about them versus, he goes, those guys are intimidating and they play with that rage and it works until they run into the real thing. Michael Jordan, me, Magic Johnson, they run into that. And we got the same level of work ethic and rage, but we come from a solid foundation. And that solid foundation, that's the thing that those guys can't beat. He said that to me. I was like, all right.
Wow. Mm-hmm. You also knew LeBron at a very young age. I mean,
real spill.
15, 16 when you met
him? I met LeBron when he was 17. I pitched LeBron. The whole story about LeBron and the $10 million check that he turned down,
yes.
I was there. It was my idea to give him the check. I was in the room to give him the check.
A kid with a single mom. Oh, my God. Come on, living in an apartment.
Yeah.
And you got a $10 million check. So here you go, bro.
Paul Fineman. So I tell Paul Fineman, I'm like, we leave. We're in New York for meetings. We're flying up to Massachusetts to meet LeBron. He's flying the plane from Akron. It's like a 6 o'clock, 5:30 meeting. I had to finish school to come to the meeting. Boom. I'm like, Paul. He goes, Adidas is going to do the deal. Nike's going to do the deal. He wants to go to Nike. His agent is already pre-approved to the deal with Nike. I'm like, let me tell you how you deal with this. In the record business, when you want to sign somebody, you give them the money right there in the front. Like, you know what? Whatever you think the number is, we'll give you this signing bonus right now to not even take the other meetings. Because I figure if you're meeting me, you're really considering it.
Right.
I'm going to give you a signing bonus to make, on top of what you think you should get, so that there's no reason for you to take the other meetings. $10 million is the number. He calls his wife. This is when I seen some balling shit. He calls his wife. When we land on the FBO, there's a $10 million personal check waiting at the thing because we're going right to the office. I'm leading the pitch to LeBron and Maverick and his agent at the time. I can't remember this guy's name. Aaron Gordon. doing the pitch, doing the whole thing, and we get to the thing, to the final stage, and Paul's going to present him the check. Paul presents him the check. I remember staring at his face. This is huge. We're going to sign LeBron James. We leave the room. We come back. When he leaves the check and says he's going to take the other meetings,
I hate these damn commercials.
Oh my God!
I clapped. I need a world change. A young black man, 18 years old, walked away from $10 million going back to the projects. I clapped. I clapped, and it was my idea. That didn't work. It meant so much. Not that the Reebok was wrong or the check was wrong, but the freedom and confidence and belief in yourself to do that. This is a new generation of individuals. This is a new generation of thought that's coming from African Americans.
We want that bread.
I thought about. And I was so proud of us at that moment.
Wow. And you pretty much been in his life because you did the Beats by Dre commercial with him. You did it with Bronny.
LeBron and I are like this, man. Me, LeBron, Maverick, Rich, I could tell you everything. Ramos, these are my brothers.
Right.
These are my brothers. Maverick worked with me, since he was 6 months before that. Maverick was with me, staying at my crib, working out of my office, me mentoring him, giving him, the tips, showing him the business, whatever. Like, those are my brothers.
Right.
It's like that. Mm-hmm. I've been in every iteration of that camp. From before the decision.
He like TK Kirk.
Every single thing. Love those guys. Love LeBron. And
they did everything.
How you feel about him is, I'll just tell you right now, forget the arguing of who's the best basketball player of all time. There's not even a question. He's the best athlete of any sport of all time.
Somebody say, what'd you say? Who
the
that
best
was?
Basketball player or not? He's the best.
Oh, human society, this thing.
In any sport I've ever heard.
That's funny, bro.
Nobody's even close.
You did Allen Iverson's first commercial.
It wasn't his first commercial. It was the only one he showed up to.
AI don't play that
Chuck,
shit.
I love you, Chuck.
The man did say practice. Not a game, but practice. So the likelihood you get him showing for a commercial was going to be tough.
He showed up to the commercial, and it was a very special thing that will, the commercial with him and Jadakiss, man, it played on radio like a song. It became a song. It was Allen Iverson bouncing a ball.
Yeah, that shit was hard.
That Jadakiss rapped to.
Right.
And when I did that, Hype Williams, who's a great music director, at the time he shot a lot of music videos. He dominated shooting music videos. Shot that.
Steve Stoute, a hustler, man. He a hustler, a true hustler for real, though.
Why? I
can't even front on that.
That was even a thought. And we shot that commercial, and it was, part of the package of talking about rebranding. We had to. Reebok was skips. This is very good. You know what skips are? And people, I don't wear those. Those are skips.
Yeah.
You don't want to wear those.
You're right.
Right.
You skip those and find something else.
You skip something and find something else. Those are Reeboks. We had to rebrand that.
They just look black.
Part of it was.
I don't understand that.
Changing the letters to RBK.
Okay.
Jay-Z, obviously, and 50 Cent and all of that stuff. And then it was AI and Jadakiss. So we did work around AI and Jadakiss. We did another spot with Stevie Francis and Scarface at the time.
Yeah.
That wasn't as successful. But we were doing this thing to fuse music and sport together. Because my whole thing was like every rapper wanted to be a basketball player and basketball player wanted to be a rapper. And that's less true than it was back then, today. But because of that, I wanted to create marketing and advertising around that fusion, and that was the way we rebranded Reebok.
How were you able to convince Jay-Z to create a sneaker with Reebok?
It wasn't really hard to convince him. Nike at the time didn't believe in music as performed. Nike was very disciplined to its manifesto about athletes and performance. They wouldn't mess around with anybody else. So an artist, the most you can get from Nike was some free sneakers.
Right.
They wouldn't do business with you. There was no commercial opportunity. And Jay-Z knew, like the great ones do, that he was moving the culture, okay? So when he told everybody we wearing button-up shirts, we're gonna change clothes, that was happening.
Thanks. Ain't lying.
Did a pair of sneakers with Reebok. Forget Reebok's, whatever they were. If he puts his name next to it, they're gonna buy his sneakers. Right. And he didn't have any self-doubt that, forget Nike, I could do this with them. And by the way, while he was wearing his sneakers and selling his sneakers, sometimes he'd wear Nike too. And he's like, people ain't gonna believe me if all I did was wear my sneakers. I gotta show them
Nike don't like this.
wear my sneakers like I choose to wear those. It's an option. But like this whole idea, like only wear your sneakers, he knew that looks fake because that wouldn't be real. Right.
Shitting me.
Is, I do like these. I also do like those. But it's creating an option, right? Which
makes sense though.
Reebok in the conversation. So it didn't really take much convincing. The convincing was, getting a deal done, not if Reebok was the right.
And he wasn't an ambassador; he was a partner.
No, Jay-Z's not the ambassador for anything except himself. He was a partner. He was a 50-50 partner.
That's the thing. Because a lot of times these brands will throw a large sum of money and an athlete or an entertainer will take that. It's like, okay, fine. But how do you convince them, like, take less of this and become partnership or equity stake?
Here's how I made myself control.
You two, what up, man? I see y'all in the building, man. Salute.
Film 2 plates. One of myself.
Facebook, I see y'all too, man. Hit the like button,
Jay-Z
share,
understood that
all that shit.
because he was an independent artist.
Okay.
So
comment in the chat, bro.
Music at the back of a trunk. The back of a trunk. Which Master P did, which Birdman and Cash Money did. Luke Skywalker did. There's some great entrepreneurs who sold like literally hand-to-hand combat with distributing music. What they knew was whether they got there because they tried to get a record deal and then they got turned down, so then they had to just do that. They learned the margin was there. That was the first time you got a chance to look under the hood and realize, wait a minute, this thing that cost me, $1 to make, that I could sell for $16, all that money right there, that's mine. If I got a record deal, I'd be getting a small fraction of that. Once you learn that, once you see that, you can't unsee that.
Right.
So betting on yourself becomes the right thing to do because that's where the margin is. When I started United Masters, the whole point of building this company, our music company, was that I felt like artists should be independent. They should keep a lion's share of the money. They shouldn't give away their name and likeness because they got money when they was 18 years old or their first record deal. In order for that deal to be a good idea, the record company has to have more belief in you than you have in yourself. Right? Mm-hmm. Because they're basically saying, I'm giving you $500,000 and you're going to give me your name and likeness for the next 10 years or whatever the term is. You didn't even get a chance to find out what it's worth on your own. Right. Being independent, there was a period of time where it was hard to be independent. When those guys did it, not everybody was built for that. But today, while music is being distributed between Apple and Spotify, and you have a platform like United Masters that you can go through and put your music out and get it distributed everywhere, why would you not do that versus going to get a record deal, getting some money, but sacrificing, giving away all of the upside for a short-term check? It just don't make no sense.
But Steve, is it a case of I've always wanted a record deal. I've always wanted to work with a record company.
Yeah, it is that. By the way, 2 Chainz had the same argument with me years ago. He goes, you don't understand. I'm like, that's the dream. Well, the fact of the matter is, part of the dream is to get paid. That is not how you get paid.
Get that bread.
You're not going to get paid that way. Secondly, this is not 20 years ago where you had to take CDs and get them into all these points of distribution and print up a bunch of CDs, so your cost outlay was so hard, was so expensive because you had to make the song, then make 10,000, 20,000 of these things. You were out a lot of money before you found out if it worked. You can find out if it worked for $50 right now, you know, for nothing.
I'm not giving you
Essentially nothing. The cost of recording has gone down. You can sign up to a platform like ours for $60, put all the music out you want, and you'll find out if you ever hit. At least do that to find out if you want to make that decision. And then you have leverage when you make that decision later. Man, maybe I will get a record deal. But you already got a hit. So now they can't sit and tell you, well, we're betting on you. No. You know I got a hit.
Right. I already bet on me.
I already bet on me. So come correct.
You see, you mentioned that Jay-Z, when he partnered with Reebok, and we see Travis Scott now with Nike. I think M had something with Nike. You see Jack Harlow's with New Balance. 50 was G-Unit, had something with Reebok. Now you see the culture, as you spoke about, and you believe the influence that it had with brands. You see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
I
started that.
That's what I'm saying. You the got
No. Started that. Everybody knows that.
That's you.
That's me.
Oh.
That's called corporate America. I'm gonna introduce you to this thing called hip hop.
Okay.
And the music and the culture and everything that it represents can help you. That's what I did. And everywhere I go around the world, anyone who knows me knows I did that. I feel great about that.
Right.
That is fact though. I'm just fucking around.
That we should be way more protective of who we give that to.
Right.
Because you don't want to give it to people, again, that's not your partner who's going to invest in it to further it versus see what they could take from it.
Right.
Just for short-term gain. You don't want to give it away for that. I don't think it's worth it.
How do you determine whether or not to take a salary, a large salary, or take a smaller salary with equity in something? How do you determine that? How does Steve Stoute determine that?
So, I'm in the music business.
Yes.
I went through something.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't mind me telling you the story.
I would love to hear it.
I'm working at the record company. I'm at Interscope. I went from Sony, I went to Interscope. My salary is $2.5 million a year. I'm 27 years old. I'm doing well by anybody's standards.
Yeah.
Better than well.
Yeah.
Right?
Humane Society on YouTube said, you wouldn't want to get where he at. Simple. Be a booty bandit. We ain't trying to be booty bandits, bruh. Nah, bruh, we gonna pass on that.
Making money, more money than football players back then in 97.
Yeah.
Okay?
For sure.
This opportunity comes along where I see, Men in Black happens, the agency that put the glasses in product placement for Will Smith. Oops, sorry. The agency that did that, I wanted to work with them.
Money
I never met an agency before. I'm like, damn, Will Smith wore these glasses. The glasses went crazy, and everybody thinks that was an accident. I could do that shit every single day. I know exactly who the people are that should be touching these products in order to create, an opportunity to sell more of that product. I spent time with that agency. The guy made me an offer. I'll give you 25% of the agency and $150,000 salary if you come here.
Oh my God!
So I'm gonna leave the record business. $2.5 million. All of the
perks that come along with it.
come with it. Who you are, the rooms you walk in, everything that comes with that. To go work in an agency where I don't know anybody. I really don't even know the business. I just know that one aspect of the business. And I'm like, if I don't make that bet on myself now, and I'm 28 years old, 29 years old, when would I ever do it? When I have a family, when I have kids? I'll never make that bet.
Right.
I made that bet. We sold that agency within 2 years for $190 million. I was rich as fuck at that 31. Yeah. I was 31 years old.
Wow.
Doing it at an extremely high level. I'll tell everybody that. When I built this company, United Masses, the employees get equity in the company. I want people to get equity. I want people to make more money. But you can't teach people sacrifice. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You just can't teach it.
That's what you got to be willing to
That's
give
what
up.
you got to be willing to do that. I will offer that.
Everybody ain't willing to
But
do
you're
that
going to sit there and think short term
at all.
then you're really betting against yourself. You got to be willing to bet on yourself. You can't think that you're getting away with something because somebody overpaid you. You got to believe that you are worth more than that salary and that you can prove that. And if you are worth more than that salary, why wouldn't you have equity?
When is the rain supposed to stop?
Exactly, bro. Why wouldn't you have equity? You better let these niggas know you about it. You worth that shit, man.
I just think that it's time over time.
Get yours.
The whole working class idea, how you work, has shifted from the indentured servant, the slave, the employee, to ownership. You got to have ownership. I mean, this is your show, and I'm proud to do this with you because everybody publicly seen what you did, that you knew your worth. You created value, and you knew your worth, and you got what you deserved because you got what you earned.
Correct.
And if you don't have an opportunity to have ownership, then no matter how good you are, you'll never feel the impact of your value.
Right.
So, like, you got to do that. And you're going to take a short-term L to do that, so what?
Right.
I don't want to be one of these people. I never wanted to be one of these people who said, man, I came up with this idea, I invented this, I did all this shit, but you never got a chance to benefit from it because you took the short-term money? That's not cool. And you see it all the time with a lot of your peers. I'm sure you want to tell them all the time, man. I don't know what you can do to help them, but a lot of these guys they are trapped by that mentality of short term. They feel like they're stealing or something. Like every time they get a check, they're getting away with something. No, you're giving away too much.
More than that little check that you get.
It comes down to how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as talent, or do you see yourself as a partner? Do you see yourself as an owner? For so long, we've been talent.
Taught to believe that.
Yeah. Because you come into football, they cut you a check. You're not part of you don't own part of the team. You come into basketball, but in this media space, what we've been able to do digitally.
Be on
Okay, no. Hell no. But you know what? Even outside of the digital, and I ask you something, man. I watch your ex-partner, not your partner, your ex-host, Skip. I don't even understand why all these other black athletes even go on the show now. I don't understand what they're doing. To me, it's so clear that he needs black talent, athletes, rappers. He's doing everything to prop himself up. And
Skip will go get everybody
over there.
I'm gonna be on there
everybody
soon.
Else is getting pennies on the dollar. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you go over there and do that? He clearly isn't the guy. He needs you. Why don't everybody leave the show and let's watch him do it for a minute. That show would be dead immediately. They get all these guys over there, they give him pennies.
They ain't gonna leave.
And they prop him up. I'm like, we got to stop doing that, man. We can't do that no more. It's not worth it. And there's nothing that comes out of it long term, except what they benefit from.
Well, I like where I am right now, so. Get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5.
Click Rick.
Hold up, man. Let me we're gonna take a quick little break, man. Give me 1 second. All right, man, we back. My bad. Get back to it.
Kane, this all came out. This is literally 1 year where a lot of these artists were on independent labels. So they had creative freedom. and made some of the best music that defined an era. Public Enemy, it takes a nation of millions.
NWA was this.
I even said to Dre, Dr. Dre, I'm like, you made Straight Outta Compton and you made the Easy Does It album the same year, man. You made two crazy, beautiful classics
Slick
in 1
Rick,
year. Yeah.
Salt and Pepper.
And that's where I grew up in. I grew up in Queens. This is like in my neighborhood, man. This is where I grew up. So I just look at this. This is
That's my boy DMC.
Being 15 years old, just watching this. Like they literally lived here.
Rest in peace, Jam Master J.
So like you'd go to the mall and you would see them.
Yeah.
And LL Cool J like in the mall.
Wow.
At block parties. LL Cool J, I seen that do block parties in Queens.
Then what happened? Why can't stars now still do that?
You can't even go back to the same neighborhood you go up in.
You should be a representation. They say, man, this guy lived here in this very neighborhood and he got out.
Right.
You can.
Well, look what happened to Nipsey, man.
Yeah.
Niggas gonna hate you out.
You know,
Can't go to your own
There's a
hood.
bit of jealousy, people. I don't know, man. Back then, there was no choice. I mean, the artists were getting big and they were getting famous, but the art form hadn't gotten to the point where they got really rich. Right. So people seen them, it was like, oh shit, that's whatever. But when the money started to get in play, everything changed. Yeah, everything changed.
Welcome to Flat.
What's with all these goddamn purses too,
Learn
man?
how the future works, where the whole point of education.
Is that same orange purse from these viral shit, these viral pictures? Or is that a new purse?
Oh my God!
I'm so tired of this shit, bro.
I don't like that shit for sure, bro. I don't like that shit.
Damn.
We're headed over to your borough. We're headed over to Queens, where it all started for you.
Yeah.
Is Queens the most overlooked hip hop borough?
Well, we're leaving Brooklyn.
Right.
Which gets a lot more hype because of Jay-Z and Biggie.
Hell no, it ain't overlooked.
Definitely gets overlooked.
Yeah, you got LL, you got Run DMC.
I don't agree with that.
50. You got Nicki.
Yeah. You got Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
You got Nas.
Listen to the PP name.
Mobb Deep. They always forget about, Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
Irv Gotti. Myself. It gets overlooked for some strange reason. I don't know why. Where I grew up at,
that ain't true.
Like a 10-mile radius was where all these people were from. I used to go to the mall and see LL Cool J battling, like in a mall, or go to a block party and see him. Because those were the venues where guys would get off. The art form was so small.
Right.
It's like the equivalent of guys playing with leather helmets. This is the beginning. So everybody's doing all kinds of, they're just trying to move it from point A to point B.
And plus, Eddie came to America and landed in Queens.
That's so funny. I can't even believe he did that on Queens Boulevard. Zamunda. He came right from Zamunda.
So why do you think Queens doesn't get the credit or has the popularity, say like a Brooklyn, when it comes to hip hop?
Because of the houses, backyards, grass. Yeah. Queens is associated with middle class.
Right.
Where Brooklyn and the Bronx, it's more like
that grime and dirty shit.
Real the New York vibe.
So Queens gets treated like, and meanwhile it's not true, but that's probably been the energy associated with it.
Bitch, I got a shotgun.
Everybody knows Queens get the money. I can tell you that.
I mean, KRS and Boogie Down Productions, Molly Mall, The Bridge. I mean,
hold on, tell me. Well, Molly Mall produced in Queensbridge.
Yeah.
Okay, Molly Mall is from Queensbridge.
Yeah.
Obviously, KRS-One is from the Bronx.
Right.
But that beef between Queens and the Bronx, the Bronx won that beef.
I mean, KRS-One was.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to say the KRS-One did. Yeah, I gotta agree. My bad.
You don't have to bring it up.
He right. Smell like sissies and
that's funny.
You may decide to say smell like sissies in there. Hell no. Niggas crazy, y'all niggas crazy.
As far as you can go,
Facebook, what up?
Who were the first rappers?
Hit that like, man. Hit the share.
LL and Cool Mo D? Because that was the first one I could think.
LL kind of embraced the whole beef thing. I'm trying to think who. Before LL, who had beef that was blatant? There was like Kumo D was actually a battle rapper. There was a mixtape early that was not, if you really know hip hop, that was like Kumo D and Busy B. Mm-hmm. And that was like a very, very famous tape. That if you heard that tape, you heard them battle.
Right.
And that was like, for me, I must have been 14. That was like, oh shit, that was the battle on MCs. So when LL Cool J and Kumo D battled, it was like, oh shit. Oh, you ready for that smoke? This guy, Kumo D was a made man already from the underground scene. He got famous with Wild Wild West and all that.
Yes.
But
he was already on
a made man before that.
Okay.
We getting busy. Mm-hmm. When they battled, I couldn't believe LL came out on top. Because Kumo D was like that dude. And
yeah, that was kind of crazy.
And then LL took down, LL made a song called To the Break.
Kumo D was snapping though, I ain't gonna lie.
He took out Ice-T and Kumo D and Hammer. He did all three of them on one song. He gave each of them a verse.
Yeah, that was...
Like, he was really into that. He's always into that.
Right.
By the way, that's one of his issues. He that's the only mode he knows.
Right.
Like when he rapped a lot, it was like, I'm going girls mode, or I'm going
beast
mode.
We rapping. We going after it. We did a song with this kid idolized him. I forget, Cannabis.
Yeah.
And Al just shit on the kid for no reason, man. Al is crazy. When Al was rapping, like all the way.
LL was crazy. He had Cannabis wrong.
A younger guy rapping like that. We put Foxy Brown on the record. He puts on I Shot Your remix. And then he puts on the record female rappers too. I don't give a fuck, boo. This girl is 17, man. This girl is 17.
He don't get no fuck.
On the record, why are you saying you can take out female rappers too? I don't give a fuck. He's like a
Don't pick that. Don't touch the mic, nigga. He told you.
What?
Don't touch his shit.
Oh, we talking about girls.
Right.
But this in-between shit is not what I do. Why are you the best guy to interview music people right now? That shit is... run with that, man. Yo, run. There is nobody. There is nobody. Nobody.
I'm a sports guy, but I wanted to branch out. I wanted to show my versatility.
Bro,
but I was just more than a sports guy.
The fucking Baby interview, the Corday interview, even the Damon Dash interview, as fucked up as that was, he's a gigantic... almost not. He blew it. He had Jay-Z. He had the most important artist of his generation.
So what happened with that relationship? How did that relationship that was so good sour so fast?
Say it.
Dame's antics were just, it became like people also over time, you mature. Right. It's like you didn't have friends at 16, but by the time you turned 19, they were still doing the same shit that you was 16 and you're like, I can't. Like,
yeah, we gotta.
You know, you start spending less and less time with them because of it. It's like one of those things where Dame wouldn't change. The way he spoke to people, the way he treated people.
Dame asshole.
He was angry.
About what? Bro, you getting paper.
He was angry because he had
the future.
Oh,
I can see it.
Dame is a full-fledged asshole.
A strong perspective about his business philosophy, and if any time a partner of theirs tried to like go around him or meanwhile people weren't going around him, the people around him wanted to meet with other people.
Right.
People were becoming less beholden to him, but he was unaware of it. Then he would like,
he ain't with that shit.
You know, while he was building businesses, which partly he would go off all around the world with cameras and girls and all kinds of crazy shit, and then come back flipping out on everybody as if, you know,
they were wrong.
Yeah. Or like, why'd you guys do all this shit without me? Like, bro, you didn't build a business that was so operationally tight that you could just go away and come back and shit be the same and all that shit. It wasn't even like that. Jay grew up You know, Jay wanted more. I think Jay seen Dame's ceiling. I think that's really what it was. I mean, Jay seen Dame's ceiling.
You can't fault him.
Dame fucked it up.
Nah, he wanted more, and everybody wanted more. Dame just had a very particular way of approaching it. He wasn't.
Hold up, man. I can't let them keep shitting on Dame like that. That nigga Dame was a hustler. They wouldn't have got there for real, without Dame. Facts, bro. But he an asshole. He a damn fool. That nigga crazy.
It's far from stupid.
Right.
Very, very smart.
Right.
Very talented. Ego through the roof. So there was no working with him.
Right.
No one wanted to work with him. There was no work.
Yeah, well,
as much talent as he has, nobody wanted to work with him.
People got to want to work with him.
Jimmy Iovine had this line, when the shit gets bigger than the cat, you got to get rid of the cat.
Right.
That's a good one.
How did the beef start between 50 and Ja Rule?
That's a good question.
Well, I know you know the answer.
Yeah. I think 50
Puffy wanted more.
That Ja was not who he was portraying as an image. Ja, Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness not supposed to rap?
I'm not saying they're not supposed to rap, but it was like Ja was coming up with this gangster image, and it was like, that's a stretch for you.
Right.
And I think 50, that was one thing. And then they had some like very neighborhood beef. And I remember when we signed 50, it was
next stop a photo like Step Brother.
He snatched Ja's chain, or somebody snatched somebody's. It was one of these things. And they had a fight in Atlanta. 50 fought him in Atlanta. And it was just like, I didn't even understand it. I'm like, why do you keep having problems with this guy? It was like it was like he was looking for problems with him, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I think it was driven by this idea that this image he was portraying that he didn't think was authentic or whatever. And then he had a problem with him, and it led to, big issues. And then Ja and his guys ran up on 50 in a studio one day.
Right.
And, they touched him up.
So they ain't gonna never be cool.
No, they're never gonna be cool.
Nah.
And now it's I'm happy that it's all kind of over with, because what I don't like at this point is older statesmen.
Yeah.
Like them.
Still beefing.
Still on the dumb shit.
Art form look bad.
Right.
These guys are made men now. Like I love what Fat Joe's persona is today, and I love obviously what Jay represents and what Nas represents, and the art form, the leaders of the art form, doing well, being positive, representing sort of as not role models, but representing the movement and the culture of hip hop well.
Right.
For guys still to be beefing and still associating that and dragging that back in, and not on the older statesman level. The younger guys should be doing that. That's cool. But like the older guys, man, you in your 40s, bro.
Right.
I mean, what are you talking about? You got kids at home, you got wives, we already know this is not what it is, so why are you...
Oh, son, bitch, I got a shotgun. I'm gonna blow your bad body ass back out that goddamn door.
Hey, Humane Society, you crazy. What? Say he gonna get beat up again, yeah? He is telling a lot of shit, talking too much, talking about everybody. It's supposed to be an interview about you, bro. You trying to do the Cat Williams, and might not end right for you, bro. They beat up 50. You know they can get you. Jay-Z got you. Let's go, man.
I don't like that. But look, it's also none of my business. But I do always feel like hip hop, the business of hip hop culture is something that I carry with me. So I do have an opinion on it. Where some people would say, Steve, it's not your business. Keep doing your thing.
Do you remember when 50 crashed the stage with Hov, Diddy, and T.I.?
Yeah.
I remember.
Boy, man. He's a wild
man. He don't mind beefing with anybody.
He doesn't mind beefing with anybody. He likes that thing. In fact, I think he wants the attention from it. He understands what that brings. The best thing to do is to ignore him.
Okay.
If you ignore him, then it's over
9
with.
o'clock.
Because he really is doing it.
Just to fuck with you.
The attention of it. And by the way, that's fine. It's a great business tactic.
Right.
You know, because it does bring a lot of attention. I just think but like for him now, I mean, this guy's such a successful producer. I don't think he needs to do any of that. He's a businessman.
Right.
I don't think he needs to do that.
I don't like that shit.
And he's talented, man. If people like Power and those
He
shows,
doing it because that's part of his goddamn.
This is what you heard first.
That's part of 50 business model. You know what I'm saying? Business model. You know what I'm saying? Is him fucking with people. You know, that shit works. That's part of the promotion. So he gonna keep doing it. I don't blame him, man. Get that bread, 50.
All right, well, his real talent is comedy.
Okay.
Oh yeah. When he takes what he does in production and apply that to comedy, it's over with. He's that talented.
Wow.
That's his thing. Comedy.
Hard times, I was broke, remember saying throw 5 on 4. These days when it don't.
Gotta mute that bullshit. My bad, Chris J. We gotta mute it though.
This is my high school, man. There's a story that I've never said on camera. I've told my daughter the story. I'm gonna tell it to you because it changed my life, and I want people to understand it.
Wow.
When I first came, I didn't try for the football team till I was a junior. We doing 2-a-days, and this shit is killing me. Like it's killing me. Okay? Like I'm getting beat the fuck down. And this is a moment that changed my life. I come off that field, I got my t-shirt on, it's probably day 4. I can't do this shit no more. I walk out. I walk right up this way. We walk
4 days.
I'm gonna quit. I can't do this no more. I didn't think it meant anything to me. I want to play football. I can't do what they're asking me to do. This shit is too much. That's what I thought. So I came out.
Nigga say he couldn't wait to wear that towel.
I stand up here at this bus stop.
Hell no.
While I'm there, one of the coaches sees me. Coach comes by, looks at me, and says,
damn it, YouTube and these fucking commercials.
Across North America in 2024.
Get y'all ass out of here. Pink.
aren't you on the football team, man? What you doing? I looked at him like, nah, man, I'm not, no, I didn't say I quit. I said I'm not on the football team. I don't know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, my name is on the back of the jersey. So he walks up. He knew I was lying.
And he knew it was a wrap.
What I did was, I left and I had to accept the fact that I quit.
Right.
I came back that year as a senior. I did everything I was supposed to do and made the team. And the last half of the season, I started at running back. The fact that I went back to finish that job that I started, they never let this football team, the Holy Cross, that's like the premier football within an hour in this thing, right? Mm-hmm. And to come back as a senior and do that was the first time I did something I was successful at. Where I was like, man, I quit, but I couldn't live with that in my heart, and I had to come back and do that, and that shit changed my life, man. I told my daughter that
real spill.
Everything that I did, from getting into the advertising business,
right,
getting into the music business, there was no clear path. There was no path for none of it.
Right.
It was very easy to just say, yo, quit.
But you didn't.
I didn't quit. And the one time I did quit, I went back and fixed it so I could erase it, and it became the greatest lesson of my life.
Had you not gone back, would you be the Steve Stoute that's
Absolutely
standing
not.
right here today?
I swear to God, no way. No way. If I got away with quitting.
Because you quit once, it's easy to do.
Once you quit once, it's easy to do.
Sure goddamn is. I done quit about 1,800 jobs.
Is that one of your greatest lessons?
Yeah, that is the greatest lesson.
Fuck that. I'm out.
I've never seen anyone fail who didn't quit.
I'm out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Were you cool with Jay-Z?
Chris J got all the beats on this bitch.
Yeah.
So how did you stay Switzerland and stay neutral?
Part of it was easy because I know how much respect they had for one another. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where two people had respect for one another, they just never shared it with each other.
Correct.
And you're sitting in between them thinking
1800.
if they only knew what each other felt, this would go away. That's what I felt. The part of it that was difficult was the outside pressure of people thinking, how could you be friends with both of them at the same time? You must be passing information or something like that. There was no information to pass. They had known each other before. They knew each other before me. Actually, they knew each other before me.
Right.
And the issues that they had nothing to do with me. It was very unfortunate. To my earlier point about being an elder statesman, when they had a beef, no guns, nobody got shot.
Right.
Lyrical. Songs.
Right.
Facts.
And you know what? They made up as men in front of everybody.
True.
That's what it's supposed to be. They had a conflict. It was handled through music. And they made up publicly. No one got hurt. No guns, none of that. That really did a lot, as far as I'm concerned, for letting people understand that disputes can be handled.
Right.
Yes. And that was dope. That was the dope part that came out of it. Jay and I are cousins.
Oh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't talk about it because there's no reason to talk about it. But I went to my grandfather's funeral and his parent is buried 2 lots down.
He like TK Kirkland.
It's like one of those type of things.
Not knowing, is that how y'all guys developed a friendship, even though you didn't know?
No, we developed a relationship, friendship, honestly, over Madden and you know,
Madden.
Literally over Madden, and there was a business deal that we were working on.
Right.
He was working on that he wanted, that I decided I wanted to be a part of.
Right.
It was an artist that we were going to sign, and it was a problem. And then when we went to settle a problem, I was like, man, I don't even give a fuck about this little thing. I care about really big things. And it was the way I talked about my dreams and ambitions for big things.
Right.
And he's like, I like this guy.
Right.
And then we became friends, became very close friends over time.
Really?
In the presence of Nas after Illmatic.
I was representing these producers.
YouTube, hit that like button, man.
The track masters were
subscribe to the channel.
Talented producers who produced for
track masters. Yep.
Biggie. They produced their big hit at the time was Candy Rain.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
They produced that joint. Mary J. Blige, what have you. But they produced under P. Diddy.
Right.
And he had this group called the Hitmen. So you never really got your own.
He might be finna get in
conglomerate. Your name was just like
that P. Diddy shit.
So they wanted to get out of the shadows of that and really be the thing. And I, was all for that type of thing, to help get them, set them up, their own business. They didn't have to do all that. So Nas makes Illmatic. Illmatic comes out. Illmatic is successful. And the first thing the track masters want to do, they produced Biggie. They were making big rap records. They wanted to produce Nas. Everybody wanted to produce Nas. The problem was no one could find Nas. Nas is an artist's artist. You couldn't find him. Through a series of events, I got to Nas, spent time with him. He trusted me as his manager, and we went to make the It Was Written album. And the It Was Written album was his biggest selling album of all time. And the first song that the track masters, when I put them together, they made was I Rule the World.
Wow.
Working with Nas is it's one of the greatest accomplishments I've ever had in my career.
Really?
Oh yeah. Nas is one of the greatest writers of all time in any topic. Writer. And when you get a chance to work with that level of greatest, one of the best who ever did it, that just doesn't happen. It's just it's a privilege to be able to say that you did that. And at the age of 26, 25, 26, when I was doing it, working with him, when we first started, all I knew was that I was working with this artist who was hot and had to, make a big follow-up album. When you look back at it 18 years later, you realize you got a chance to work with one of the greatest who ever did it.
How did you get to adopt a more radio-friendly, a more commercial-friendly rap, considering that he had
niggas went with their commercial shit?
Who's helping you with these questions?
I'm just asking. I'm just asking you, man. I'm just, we put a lot of time and research into this to make sure we get to know.
When I start my edits, I like to look for a preset that has.
Shannon don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Once I'm there,
somebody wrote that shit.
It was a risk. He bet on me. He trusted me.
Somebody definitely wrote them questions.
He believed in me. I don't know how he knew to trust me.
And it wasn't Shannon.
I spoke to him a lot about the fact that we have to evolve. He understood that.
Right.
He understood that what that meant. So that meant making bigger music, appealing to more than, because his first album, Illmatic, which is considered one of the greatest rap albums of all time, hadn't sold that much. It wasn't popular, but those who knew it, the purists of the art form, understood it and respected it and held it in high regard. But this was also that plus make money.
Right.
And we had to make money, which meant we had to, expand and grow, which is what, me coming into the fold and helping him make It Was Written was about.
But how do you get him to understand that? Because I read where in the beginning he didn't really care about money and success. He wanted to write. He was a writer. He wanted to perfect his craft. But success and fame and money wasn't what it was about.
What he knew was the thing was working. There was a very clear line between the artist that was making successful music and looking successful as a result of it, and the artists who were underground, local.
Right.
Couldn't get out the local moniker. And he didn't want that to be him. So whether it was about caring about money or not, he definitely cared more about expanding his audience.
Right.
Right. So it wasn't driven by money. Like, we. But the other thing that was important, Shannon, was that during that time, making money or being successful was a part of what was successful.
Right.
People wanted to see, Versace and that was part of it.
Right.
So that was the lifestyle attached to it, to the music. He didn't care about money, but he did care about being successful.
Okay.
Yeah. So, my interpretation of that was, let's make bigger music, let's make bigger songs, and let's find the producers and the talent that can help us. And that was obviously working with the track masters, going to get, Dr. Dre to produce on that album, which nobody had done before, making music videos and visuals, getting Lauryn Hill to do Sing I Rule the World. Right. Lauryn Hill, nobody could get Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill is Lauryn Hill. So the combination of all of that was what led to, us doing something that important.
Now you see transition, he's Nas, the businessman, the big private equity, and all the stuff that we see him a part of. Was that you talking to him like, okay, take to the next level to be what you want to be?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I introduced Nas to a very dear friend of mine, Ben Horowitz, who invested in me and in United Masters. And I introduced Nas to him because Ben is a tremendous fan of rap music. And, there was this whole idea that people who can move the culture should be involved in technology.
Right.
Because of that, Nas, was able to get going early in some very important venture investments. Coinbase being one of them, which was big, Ring, the Amazon thing, Ring. And then, that got him going, and he built a VC firm around that. And he has mass appeal, and, Nas is a great businessman. Nas is an all-around talent, man. He's a very special person that people love and adore.
The new thing now is people seem to be unloading their catalogs. Taylor Swift did something very unique. She released her entire catalog, and now she got new masters, and the record companies are trying to say now that
they're trying to change agreements.
Yeah.
There's two types of
Taylor Swift is a hustler.
One is your publishing catalog, which is your share of writing,
right?
Which most artists can sell,
right?
Their portion of writing a song,
right?
Then there's another side of the catalog, which is the master side.
Right.
Most artists don't own that to sell. They don't own that to sell. Taylor didn't own that to sell.
Right.
Okay. That's the reason why she was mad, because they sold it to somebody else,
and she wouldn't give her a chance to buy it.
Well, that's and I'm gonna tell you something about that nobody ever talked about. Her father owned a piece of that company, so I don't know why her father didn't tell her. Her father owned a piece of the company that sold it.
Right.
So I don't know how she didn't know
Pops was gaming.
Any of that.
Right.
To be frank with you, and I got no horse in this race. It was just, to me, it was just very odd that the beef was so loud that they sold it. Nobody ever told her about it, and I'm thinking, well, your father benefited from the sale of this.
Right.
Number one. Number two, most artists don't have that, which is the reason why I fight for that, about ownership of masters, because that's the thing that has all of the long-term value that you could, your family could benefit from for years to come.
Right.
Which is the reason why you should maintain and own your master rights. The multiples that are being paid for these things are really high, very, very high. And for those who can benefit from it, it's great, which is the reason why, again, the artist should hold it. To me, it's one of those things that I personally, if I was an artist, I wouldn't sell it. If I owned my catalog, you can get a loan against it, right? Borrow against it, whatever. It's very valuable. You can license it,
right?
But I wouldn't sell it. It's because what's happening is, as technology changes, it keeps unlocking new value.
New shit, right?
It was worth one thing. Then when there was vinyl, and then all of a sudden when CDs came, it became exponentially more valuable because then everybody started rebuying it again. Right. All of a sudden you started buying Bob Marley's greatest hits, or whoever.
Double the price too.
Barry White's greatest hits. You name the act that you like. Every time new technology comes out, the catalog becomes much more valuable again because people are, reformatting the music in which they have it on, or rebuying that new format.
Right.
So it's very hard. The guy who's buying it is betting that the new format change is going to only lead to more value over time. The person selling it thinking it's not. If you can afford to get a loan against it or license it, you can still get some money without necessarily selling it. That's what I would do. But the key is to own it. If you don't own it, you're not even in this conversation. You can sit here and ask artists, what do you feel about selling catalog? And they'll sit there and tell you, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't have any catalog to sell. Which is again,
that's fucked up.
Fucked up.
Is it true at your wedding Kanye took the mic from Maxwell?
Man, how do you know this, man?
That happened for real?
Man, shut up. Who told you that?
Shay know it.
Nah, man. No, who told you this?
I'm just asking the question. I just want to know. I think my audience want to know. Maxwell was performing. Kanye got up there and started freestyling. Yes or no that happened?
It sounds like, yeah. Knowing Kanye.
That's so wild that you know that, man. I'll tell you, Anthony, who would tell you that? Yes. Kanye grabbed the mic and started freestyling, and it was craziness. That's all I could say. It was crazy.
So what? It's about your wedding night. So what are you thinking? You got Maxwell. He's saying
Kanye is a gangster, man.
Silently,
fortunate,
yeah.
Ye is a gangster.
Urban Hang Sweet.
The whole album.
Yes.
Oh shit.
You help the NFL secure.
Wait.
How is Steve Stoute able to walk in any building, get a meeting, and can close a deal? Man, you could sell, you could have a chicken to be secured at the hen house. How?
What?
I'm good, man.
It's better than that. There's more to it than that, Steve.
Nah, I'm good at what I do, man. I see it. It's the halftime show. It's the NFL halftime show. It's all about music. Why wouldn't Apple Music have that? Why wouldn't a music company be there? Pepsi's fine and Bridgestone before Pepsi, but like, why is it a tire company and or Pepsi?
Beverage company.
Why wouldn't it be Apple Music? I mean, why isn't that obvious to everybody? I don't even understand what the only thing genius about that is that nobody else seen it.
Right.
But it was obvious. So being able to speak to, Eddie Q and the guys over at Apple, from Tim Cook to Eddie Q and Oliver, those guys, they love the idea. And the NFL, of course, would prefer to be in business with a company like Apple. Who doesn't want to be in business with Apple? Apple Music. And we did that deal, and it was, Rihanna year one, and, we know it's Usher this year. I'm sure you're going to be there. You're damn right you'll be there. It's Vegas. So, it's fantastic. I love doing deals and doing business that makes significant impact. And I love the idea more than I care about my own what I personally stand to gain. Seriously, it's like Bono said something a long time ago. You can get anything done as long as you're willing to not take credit.
No living being.
That's true, but I don't believe, nigga, you worry about other niggas getting paid before you. Bullshit.
The idea, as long as you remove who gets credit for it, then the politics around what makes a great idea come together become much easier to see.
Right.
Yeah, and that was one of those types of things. I had to get in deep enough to get it done. And then I got out of it. Once I knew we had a deal.
Right.
But I didn't run around talking about, I did this deal. And yeah, for what?
When you see where the prices are going for these commercials, $7-8 million for 30-second spots.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Where we, Steve, where we headed? Are we headed $10-15 million for a 30-second spot?
Yeah. You see where these teams are valued.
Yeah.
Right? Where these teams are valued, the fact of the matter is, man, the top 100 shows on television, 90 of them are NFL games.
Yeah.
And the more it becomes rare to get that level of audience around something, the more they can charge. Because there's nothing else that garners that level of attention at one period of time. If you break it down, it's probably the best money spent.
Yeah. You got 100 million. You got 100 million people watching for 3 hours.
How about this? And oddly enough, wanting to see the commercials.
Yes.
That one event is the only event where people go, I can't wait to see the commercials.
Right.
There's nothing else.
That's what they do.
Every other thing, you're trying to skip the commercial, get around the commercial.
You're absolutely
This
right.
is the perfect time to use the bathroom, not the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's when people want to watch commercials. So, I mean, $7-8 million, whatever. And I think the NBA finals and NBA playoffs, people want to watch these things, man. I would charge more. It's the only game in town. It's the only thing. Live sports dominate television.
Yes.
They can charge whatever they want. And it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it because the attention that you get is very hard to cobble putting together a bunch of other different media. It's just very difficult to get.
Have you ever created a Super Bowl commercial? Is that something you liked?
Hell yeah. Man, I did a Super Bowl commercial so long ago, and the shit blew up, and I didn't even realize how big it was. Terry Tate, office linebacker.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's you?
Hell yeah. Do you remember that?
I do remember Terry
He just
Tate.
started tackling people in the office.
Yes.
I did that for Reebok, man. I did that for Reebok. This guy was running around with a film of this guy tackling people in the office. He's a famous director now, Rawson Thurber. And he had this young guy showing this film. I seen it. And
jacked him.
Representing Reebok, we pitched it to Reebok, and literally it was a Reebok.com commercial. Go to Reebok.com. And that thing went crazy. Terry Tate, office linebacker.
I remember that.
We're the agency.
I'm telling you that. They swipe, no swiping.
As I like to call us, because that's what we do. We solve bigger problems for The NBA has been a client of ours for many years. State Farm, all those State Farm commercials that, Aaron Rodgers and Chris Paul and Cliff Paul and all that. We've done all that work for years. And now AT&T is one of our clients. It's been our clients for 4 or 5 years. But I want to talk to you about, because
we're going to get to talk about this helmet and the special, what makes this helmet special.
Yeah. What we did here, man, which I'm very proud of, is a lot of times people talk about advertising and it's like selling stuff.
Right.
But I like to really think about how do you use the power of advertising to tell a story or solve problems. And we found out about the story about Gallaudet, which is a school for deaf, or hard of hearing, hearing impaired. There was a time where hearing impaired players actually made it to the pros. There were a few of them who made it to the pros. But as technology...
I played my second year, Kenny Walker went to the University of Nebraska. He was hearing impaired.
So then, perfect. So now what happens is, as you start putting in technology in the helmets, now you can call audibles, and if you're playing quarterback or linebacker, you can't even compete if you're hearing impaired. You can't. So we've seen this problem. We took it to AT&T and the great team over there. They actually wanted to say, how could we help solve this problem using 5G technology? Okay. So what we did was, we worked on this for 3 years. This helmet has a special chip here. And this chip allows players who are hard of hearing to actually see the play versus just hearing.
Right.
Right. So the coach takes this and literally I can put the play in here, flex, play action, Pittsburgh. Right. So that's the play the coach calls. Right. And I can just put in the audible right here, and the audible comes up on this visually.
Wow.
So the player gets to see this. This is a game changer. We put this on these players. It changed their lives, man.
Shit, every goddamn player need that shit, then.
Speed, I got the vision, I got the eyesight, I got everything.
Why the fuck all of them ain't got that?
I just can't hear.
Right.
I'm hearing impaired.
I want one of them helmets.
Right now,
shit.
They're using this right now. It's one of the most things I'm most proud of, that we did that, and we're changing people's lives. So, when I say that we are a creative solutions company, that's not advertising, man.
Right.
That's coming up with new ideas that's going to help change people's
That's advertising
lives.
too.
Right. It's much bigger than advertising.
You're the consultant for the Knicks. You did some work for to make the Nets cool.
Well, I moved the Nets from Newark to Brooklyn.
Right.
Right. So we did that very early. We also represent the Big 12.
Yes.
Yeah.
To make them cool.
Yeah. Well, the Big 12, what's going on in college sports is so crazy now because the rules have changed, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
the NIL.
Between NIL deals, between
the relocation of
the relocations of every team. It used to be regional. Right?
Yes.
Like if you played for the Big East, then you were in the Big East squad.
Yeah.
Man, you could go from there and be there. The regions don't even matter. A lot of it, I still think I have a problem with because of what it does to the student athlete. Okay. The fact that you got to travel across the country. How could you even study? Right. How could you actually get your schooling together if you're playing in different time zones?
Yeah, like USC and UCLA coming to the Big Ten.
Yeah, how?
Cali,
that's a lot, right?
Can't just walk around with a helmet.
But anyhow, between NIL deals and
if that one, I'm be walking around with that whole
so fast. Recruiting, materials around recruiting, how you market your teams, how you market your team and your program changes dramatically. Look, man, we at the Big 12, we just got Colorado.
Need the bus, the short bus.
Right.
Like, and I'm sure everybody was pitching Colorado, the AD at Colorado to get them. We put together the materials to help make them very successful. And I work with Brett Yormark, who's the commissioner of the Big 12. I worked with him when he was at the Brooklyn Nets, when we moved him from Brooklyn, from Newark, New Jersey to Brooklyn. And I work with him now for the Big 12 and love working with Jim Dolan. Very, very misunderstood man, but talented as hell, loyal as hell.
How do you go about rebranding? Because to rebrand something, people have an idea or perception of what it is. How do you change that perception?
All right, man, we're going to stop it right here, bro. We've been on here for an hour and a half, man. I just came to get in real quick, man, let y'all see that I'm still working. Always working. I appreciate y'all support. Like I said, we almost at 5,000 on YouTube. We like 24, something like that away. So let your people know. Tell them to subscribe to the channel. It's real easy. Hit the like button. Let the people know. And Facebook, keep fucking with me. Y'all hit that like button too, man. Appreciate Humane Society and everybody that pulled up on YouTube. Y'all fuck with me tomorrow. We doing something. I don't know what, but we doing something. I might be on here later. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna be on TikTok tonight. I'm gonna be sampling records and shit. So we gonna be vibing like that. So y'all fuck with me, man. Tig need to run the city, no cap rap news. Peace.